Welcome back to SevTech Ages, and I've been fighting these dark druids for a few minutes. They try and throw you backwards, but of course it helps when, well, first of all, we can just get back easily just by pushing forwards against them. But now I should have all of the pieces, I think. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we should just be able to click them onto the central altar, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should then hopefully give us some kind of effect. It's certainly glowing. Particle effects are happening. So how are you today? If you haven't subscribed to the channel before, feel free to press the button below if you're liking these videos. We're now on episode like 5 or 6 now. I think it's 6. Yeah, we're getting pretty well into the pack, and it's pretty enjoyable so far. I quite like the whole skyblock version of SevTech. So we'll see how well that goes. And that's our talisman, I think. Yep, there we go. And there we go. So give me that. That's the top of the tree. And we need to kill the druids, use the talisman pieces, click the talisman on a place sapling to create a large portal to the Betweenlands. So I don't necessarily want that on my own island. My own island is getting a bit cramped, so I need to expand that pretty soon. But let's head it back over there and find somewhere suitable to put down a portal to the Betweenlands. See, here we are on a little island right next to my base. See over there, there's our ritual altar, and here's our island. So let's give this a go. I'm not sure how big this is going to be. If it's a tree, if I remember rightly, or maybe I'm misremembering. Yep, there we go. We're inside a tree, and that's going to be that. So any of these portals out here should take us to the Betweenlands. Oh, and yes, this is a giant tree. So let's just fly around this actually, and let's just see how large this is. Yeah, that's huge. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't put it in my base then, isn't it? It's fine, I guess. So from there we can head across to the Betweenlands. However, some things of note with the Betweenlands, all kinds of things I think change as you go through there. So I think food becomes rotten. You end up with issues with torches and all other bits and pieces. But it's worthwhile preparing a little bit, getting everything repaired, and maybe not taking some of that stuff across with you. It's probably worthwhile taking at least one, just to see whether it's actually supported or not. But if it's not, then, well, I guess we have to go and craft stuff over there. Oh, there's the bear that keeps on popping up. That thing just, it doesn't kill me as much anymore, but the early time, it just kept popping. Fine. More bear claws. Let's give a bit of preparation and head over there. Okay, unfortunately now at this point I lost some footage. I'm going to retrace my steps, re-record it, and I apologise, sorry about that. I thought I was recording and, well, I wasn't. So let's head over to the Betweenlands and I'll show you what I've been doing over there. Nothing very serious, nothing very, you know, hugely... no major progress, don't worry, but I've just a bit of exploration. So here we start inside the wonderful tree, and if we head outside, you'll see, well, first of all, shaders don't work in this dimension. That's perfectly fine, I guess. But outside, we have a swampy environment. That's pretty much the Betweenlands all over, and we got these trees around next to us. So the trees that we're going to head, first of all, are over here. Just head across. We don't even need the volokite, to be honest. Let's just head into there, and inside here you just want to basically use your lumber axe, and you can get these weedwood logs. You're going to want some of those. You're going to want to get your shears and get some leaves. The reason for the leaves is a little odd, but I guess I do understand it. In the saw, weedwood leaves. In the saw you can then use them to get weedwood sticks. If you use the chopping block, etc., you can get sticks from the regular wood, but the saw doesn't do that. The saw gives you sidings for basically making them out of planks, etc. So yeah, it's a little different. So do gather some weedwood leaves. These trees are very common. One of your first priorities, however, also should be treat these like that, the one over there. Let's just go over there and show you that one. I really shouldn't use the volokite, but so used to it now. Yes, so let's just use the dog boots to get a speed boost. Yeah, so sap tree log. Did I have my lumber axe? I did have my lumber axe. So if I just hit you, that's probably the best one there. This thing's going to rain sap, and sap is one of the most important things. You see the bar above my hunger? that is the decay bar, and you need to make sure that's full, basically. If it gets too low, I think it starts to reduce your health and maybe even damage and stuff like that. So, yeah, do pick up some of the sap. And there's more than enough to actually manage here. Now, as far as what you need to do in the Betweenlands, I've got the achievements unlocked here at the top of H2. Make it a sword. That's it. Essentially, and gather some weedwood sticks. So again, I've just showed you those two things, but you see it branches down to the smeltery down here. So these achievements, on the other hand, are all about getting the controller, Smeltery Controller. There's a couple of others as well, Tinker Tank, Seared Furnace, but Smeltery Controller needs this Aquamiddle Gem. And Aquamiddle Gems are made from the Aquamiddle Gem ore, and there's three colours, there's blue, green and red, and they do different things for different parts of Tinker's construct, but you need to basically get that together. You need to get some sulfur, and you need to make a purifier with some Octane ingots. So yeah, there's a few different ore types. Now, as far as finding that ore, let me just go back to where our home tree is. I went and then dug down a bit, and that's very, very boring, so I'm almost glad I lost some of that footage. So heading down here, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we just head down, it's a typical mine, there's nothing special there. Yep, lots of digging, and eventually you'll get down to, you see, you get some Simmerite ore. I keep mispronouncing that, but yep. And existing quartz tools work just fine. Also, note that in the Betweenlands, torches, if you manually place them, go out. They turn into like a damp torch. So it's not good. You can't just use regular torches. And there's my decay, so I'm just going to use some sap. But if you use the torch launcher, because you're not placing them, they do work. So you can just use that to place regular torches. And if you get down far enough, you'll get into a huge caverns area. Think of it much like the Nether kind of caverns. And in here so far, I found more of the Simmerite ore. Simmerite? Simmerite. Yes. That's just a weird word. My brain refuses to actually pass the word. Sorry. And down here, you'll also find sulfur, which is what we need for the purifier fuel. So it's good to have that anyway. So yeah, I do want some of that. Thank you very much. I'm not sure how much we're realistically going to need, but it is basically a fuel source down here. What I haven't found down here, and what's interesting in its absence, maybe it's sort of biome specific or it's just rare maybe, is the ore we need for the purifier. So the Octane purifier. There it is. So yes, Octane comes from Octane ore. There's no hover information that gives you any more information than that, so it's just finding it. And the other thing, of course, is those that middle gem stuff. Now, the middle gem stuff is actually a lot easier to find once I remember which way out it is. Yeah, the stone doesn't really help with depth perception. It's almost like it's been like a 2D effect, especially when you're used to the shaders. Anyway, so finding the other ores is actually fairly straightforward. What you're going to do, I've already found one. I found the blue one already. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so in here I've just got little bits of stuff that I've just been basically gathering. Swamp dirt, weedwood, as I said before, hearthgrove. I don't even know that's even needed. And then I have an Aquamiddle Gem, I think probably back at the base, or unless it's in one of these other things. It's back at the base. So there's my weedwood sword I crafted. That's what happens to torches if you manually place them. Food, as long as it's cooked, seems to be okay here. So the tasty sandwich is perfectly good, which is exactly what I want because I like the tasty sandwich. And that's good. So that's going to be okay. Technically, we don't need the death compass because that is not appropriate for this dimension. However, if you want to set your spawn point in this dimension, you can use your sleeping mat to actually do that once it's nighttime, of course. I don't think other methods will let you do it, but we'll see if we need to actually come over here for a longer time. Now, finding the middle gem is a matter of looking, well, apart from getting lurkers, which are basically crocodiles, you'll see there is like a swamp bed, if you like, underneath the water. What you want to be doing with that is basically just going through the swamp bed
and seeing if you can find the gems. They appear on the bottom of lake beds, so I'm not sure if I can see any around here. Let's just move forwards with our run from our boots. And I don't see any. Let me just go and move around, see if I can find some for you. And then from that we can maybe get a purifier if I get some of the Octane ore. Now it does appear on the surface occasionally, so I'm going to have a look there. If not, I'm going to be doing some more mining and seeing if it's available underwater and go from there. Lots of things attacking. Crabs. Are there crabs? Silk crabs. Okay. Onward with exploration. Let's see if I can find the ore. Yep, here it is. Found it. It's just in the next lake across. And if we just basically gather it, we should get the ore type. And there we go. So that's the ore. And I need to basically not drown. But other than that, it's the usual kind of stuff. So, yeah, I can look for the other colors of ore. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to need them, but because the other stuff is other tinkers. So tinkers, hang on. Tinker's controllers. Yeah, so if we're going to have a Tinker's furnace or Tinker tank, I'm being attacked now, then you're going to want the other colors. So keep having a look around, and let's see if I can also find the Octane to use as well. So let's have a look. Dead south of the tree, I went and found the red gem. It's over here. I had some issues. Let me just use this torch thrower to let you see things a little bit better. There we go. It bounces off any kind of coverage on the ground, so you've got to be attaching it to vertical surfaces or where there's no ground cover. And the red gem should be off over there somewhere. So let's just go and head underwater. There was a white. They're a little bit of a difficult fight because of the whole mechanic. There we go. You see, there's a friendly creature. Not so friendly. But what are you? You're an anglerfish. Yes. Anglerfish, if you've never seen an anglerfish in real life, they're kind of almost amazing as an evolution, really. They have like a ball in front of their mouth, basically, to attract prey, I think. I think that's the one I remember, anyway. So let's just get our red gem, and that's 2 of the 3 that we actually need. And then carry on looking for, again, Octane, or whatever it's called. And finally green, which is not too far away from the portal anyway, just west of our portal. So we'll grab that, and then we're down to literally the Octane, and that's pretty much it for the first visit across to here. Have I got that green? Yes, I do have a green, as well as nearly drowning. We could do with some kind of increased water protection. There is a set of armor, I think, from the lurkers that you can you get that helps you travel around. You can get boats as well. Boats are a very good way of getting around. But because I'm looking underwater primarily, that wouldn't really help with the boats, would it? Not unless it's a very bad boat. But otherwise than that, you can see I've just been killing stuff as it's actually been attacking me more than anything else. And yeah, so we're done with the gems, or at least we're done with the ores. We need to convert them across into gems. So for that, I need to go ore hunting. And here we go, first piece of Octane ore, and we're at one level 64. Just as a reference, I dug down. Couldn't find it on the surface, so usual mining rules apply. And looks like there's even more caverns below us, so perhaps it's only at a certain level in the caverns that you see it. So let's just see if there's anything down there. No, looks pretty okay. Yeah, any more of it showing around, and then maybe we'll see if it's common. It doesn't look like it, does it? No, I don't see huge amounts of it around. So, yeah, just keep digging until you find some more, and hopefully get that. And there's plenty of sulfur around, so yeah, we should be able to get enough of it to get some Octane ore. And let's just see if it's actually used. Octane ingots. What's it actually used for other than the purifier? Swords, tools, block of Octane. Let's see if that's used anywhere. An infuser. Possibly we may need to craft that. And current recipe for pistons. Now we'll be able to get some pistons from the Twilight Forest, so that's not something we need right now. But yeah, maybe that'll change. We'll have to see if we can get the other way of getting it then, if that's going to stay around for this age, possibly. But otherwise, I'm going to keep digging, and then we gather some of the ore. I find out where the hole is that I dropped through, and we'll go from there, and then we should be able to craft. There we go. So if we just grab some between stone. Be able to continue digging down, and we'll see if it becomes more common later. But let's just dig it out while we can here. Is it going to be in an ore vein? That would be nice if it was. Ooh, possibly. Let's use our hammer. Good so far. Let's take a look there. How much have we got? We got 4, which is enough for us to get started. So that's a good haul. And I don't see any more. Okay, good to get started. Then we just need to process it. So process it would be just smelting. Yeah, just smelting. Back to the base. With the new Shinies achievement for getting Octane, we should be able to then make a purifier, which is fine. And I don't think this is going to need fire or anything, so I'm just going to put it down on some between stone. That'll do for now. And there's my purifier. And, there's something I've forgotten. We need water as well. So sulfur will go in here. The aqua middle gem will go there. We need swamp water. So I've got some buckets with me. I need to go and grab that from the swamp. And that was a quick trip, so just got a couple of buckets just in case we need it for something else. I've got a bucket worth. Pop that in there. And that should be enough to get it started. Yep, and it will then transition this over into a middle gem. So let's just take those controllers out. What do I need for the Smeltery Controller? I just need seam bricks. Good. So that will be quite simple to get done once this is moved over. So if I just get 8 bricks, well, that's been done. 8. Yep, there we go. And grab you. Yep, there's the middle gem. And then we can create, at long last, a Smeltery Controller. Yes, okay, Smeltery Controller. Now, did that do everything I need for the achievement? After you place all your smeltery blocks, sorry, we need to complete the structure, basically. So that's fine. How about tank, the smeltery tank? We can use the ones we've already been using, of course. This here gauge, I suppose. Maybe, but I normally go with a regular seared tank anyway. And that's just glass or a clay barrel, so yeah, easy enough. Okay, time for a few base improvements and then we'll get on to a smeltery. First of all, just basically going to replace the TP because I always forget which direction it's in and I can't put it in here, it's just not enough room, so let's just get it with a regular bed. So 3 pieces of white wool and let's just convert those across and there we go. So that's made using wicker. Whoops, can I not do that because it's not regular earth, is it? Let's just put earth down. Oh, it's used at 1 because I got some stuff, bits and pieces. There we go. Another bit of earth, and now will you go down? Yes, you will. Good. So new spawn point set, and then when it's nighttime, obviously we don't need this anymore. So that is gone. It's a bit of space saving. I do quite like the look of the garden-based sort of thing, top of the island. So I'm not sure I'm going to convert this completely into industrial. I think industrial is going to go down. I don't like the look of all these shafts and gears and everything else on top, really. So I'll be excavating underneath, but obviously I want to keep all the garden-like look up here, apart from the Tinker Smeltery, which is just so handy because it's just going to build upwards and there just won't be any room down there. I'll have to move it elsewhere. Now I do want to just see if I can automate the output of liquids a little bit more. We don't have a clock. I've checked this before. We don't have a redstone clock. So I think I'm just going to see if there's a type of hopper that will actually help us. I want a regular hopper first of all. So a regular hopper. And I'm going to need a couple of bronze gears, I guess. And in fact, let me just make 2 of those. If I've got 2 available, I do. And then I'm going to need, I've got enough for chests, I think. So a couple of chests. Yeah, and then a couple of actual regular hoppers, finally. Now from those, we can make a liquid hopper. And we need to cast out some glass. But otherwise, that should let me upgrade that. And then it said liquid hopper is a hopper which you can use to transfer liquids. Like the omnidirectional hopper, it's omnidirectional. Apart from transferring liquids from one tank to the other, it'll also try to empty any liquid container lying at the input side. So that may well be automatic. I'm hoping that it will respond to a lever and then we can turn it on and off easily and just start dumping stuff out of our melter quite quickly. But we'll see on that front. This is almost way through a few stacks of that. So while that's going on, and I've just put a hopper underneath just to auto output this. While that's going on, let's just build a standard I think it's construct smeltery. You can go for 1 by 1 if you want to save space, or if you want to just build a huge one, you can do. I'm just going to go ahead with a standard one, so 3 by 3 in the middle, and then on my output side I want to be facing me usually, and that seems to be this direction, so I'm going to just put in my drains that way. Yeah, I like the look of them that way. I'm not sure it particularly matters which way around you've got them, but that's fine. I will be moving this obviously once the rest of it's done, and then we can get a controller. And I tend to have a controller and a tank on one side, mainly because I can then feed into the controller right there, and everything is good. Let's just put the tank at the back, maybe. Later on we'll want some kind of lava supply. Although I do like the look of being able to see the tank. Let me just put it on this side for now. Let's hope it's a valid structure. You'll soon see if it's not. And then just surround the rest with basic, regular stuff. Are you valid? You look like you are. Yes, you are. And there's 9 spaces on the input, so we've got room to build this upwards and get a lot more space. Until you do that, however, useful to just basically put a torch or 2 down, just to make sure the inside is lit when there's no lava going on. Okay, so that's a smeltery done, and we can then basically transfer these, the table and basin, and I've got less than a bucket in there, so I went out and got some more lava from a handy island. I had to fight off more of those magma monsters. Not sure if there's a way to stop them spawning. They're really annoying. So may have to wait for the nether for easily available lava. We have to go and fight them every time I actually need some lava. But other than that, we're doing pretty well. So we've got a Tinker's Construct Smeltery, and I can go and put in even some faucets, but of course we don't have anything underneath them yet. But that's coming up. So useful to get going. What else have we got? That is the smeltery up there, and then that will lead on to a compass that you can get X and Z, and a biomalyzer, and see the biome, and a depth meter to monitor the Y level. However, I do have the plumb bob I was using, which is just like string and a rock, so it's really not that hard to actually do. And then that leaves us on to Astral Sorcery, I think. So I think we need to get started with that. And that's going to be a bit annoying. We need to build that fairly high. I mean, you can get away with it at this kind of level. My plumb bob's around somewhere. There it is. What Y level are we at? 72. It's beneficial to have it up at like 100 plus or 120 or something like that. So it... we don't have any way of getting up there. Obviously the bowler kite can get us up there eventually, but we can climb walls with our gloves essentially now, as long as I turn them on. So that may be the option that we do just by pillaring up somewhere. But I've figured it out, and we need to go and get lots of marble for that. We've got a stack and a half. Not sure that's going to be enough. So I need to do some more mining. Is there any other way of getting marble? I don't think there is. I think it's just a block. Yeah, it's just a block, so fine, I need to go do more mining. So that's that, and I'll do some bit of rearranging and get everything sorted for the Astral Sorcery. We'll do that in the background, and tidying up the base a little bit, I think. So bit of a gap now in filming while I just sort of tidy. Alright, I've cleaned up the original melter, and now we're going to automate this a little bit better with Tinker's Smeltery. So what I've just done is just dug out underneath these drains. I think we should be able to pull downwards in the drains as well, hopefully, if that works. So what I actually want to do is, and I have dug down quite deep, you'll see why in a second. One thing, I've made this liquid hopper with the glass I've just smelted up. But it's like a regular hopper, it only goes up or down really. Sideways is a little tricky. Maybe let's see if I can actually get it to go sideways. It didn't do when I originally tried it. It only had one output direction, unlike like a regular hopper. It doesn't have that third piece which can swivel sideways. Let me just show you with that. Let me just put some dirt down for a second. So if I put the liquid hopper down and face it that way, right click, you see its input direction is into the wall, so can't really do that. So instead what I wanted to do is just move it downwards. So instead we have, let's just get, where's my
Where's my stuff? There it is. Casting basin. If I put that down there, okay, and then I put this on top, it automatically works. Now I want to just change that behavior a little bit to say it needs a high signal. So we can then remove this bit. That gets that out of the way. And then we need to output this into a crate, and I probably have to go to put a crate 1 down, but that's a lot more comfortable than making this stick out towards me, and then there's like a space there used, a space there used, and then I'm out here somewhere, and it just looks a little bit unwieldy. I'd rather have just you know, a space in the floor is fine by comparison. So then we can just use a regular you know, one of these Hop Mark 2s or whatever. That should automatically output, and that is pretty good, I think. So that looks going to look okay, and I can just go in here for auto outputting stuff. However, if this is going to work like that, I do need a lever to basically turn it on and off. Will it work there, or I never remember. Where's the actual? Where's my controller? There it is. So 300 millibuckets. I've clearly broken it part way through, and it's broken the whole thing. Let me just throw some more sand in there, and yeah, we should be good to go once I've got all the sand done. So yep, there it is. So that's going to work just fine as far as automation is concerned, and that's good for me, and I'm pretty happy. So I will be able to do that with that one there, and then one on this side for the automatic output, leaving one in the middle for manual stuff like, you know, swapping out casts. And it strikes me I could do it even better than that with an upper, just like that, and it should put stuff back into this crate from the bottom crate. Excuse me, a dog's barking in the background, apologize for that. Let me just actually just test this out. Let me just throw something in there, and it's appearing in top. So everything actually now looks like a regular Tinker Smeltery, but yeah, we have automatic outflow just with a quick lever. And we're going to do the same thing with the ingot cast, which is the thing that gets left in there on the other side. And we're good to go, I think. So that's looking pretty good. I just need to craft a few more hoppers, and then yeah, we have this ready. So I don't need the force. Oh no! Don't use the hammer. Nearly. Don't use the force on that side, and let's just dump all of our other seared stuff in there, and we're pretty good to go. Yeah, I like this setup a lot. And I think, apart from the demon cat behind me somewhere, by the way, if you do attack that thing, it will go large and try to attack you back, but the annoying meowing is getting a little bit to me. Anyway, I've decided I like this setup now. I've moved the wooden crates out and down a little bit, so I can still see things happening, and you can swap in and out the various bits and pieces if you just click on them. And also we have levers on the top, so if I then I also are able to input chest here that goes down, up, back into the Smeltery Controller, so I can get to it from the front, which is exactly what I want. And then if I say want a bucket, for instance, I can just do that, and that will make me a bucket cast. Good. And that is, well, it's not completely filled, but fine, no problem. And we have another bucket. Good. So I like this Smeltery setup a lot, which means I can now just dump in iron, and it should, yeah, be making its way into the Smeltery. And then I can leave this on, and it will make iron blocks. Or if I want to just do ingots, I could just do ingots on that side, and then it should auto feed once it fills up with iron. So yeah, that's all good. And we have crates here. Moved everything down into the ground. That's sort of seemingly usual for the kind of smeltery stuff, and nice and clean, nice and easy to actually access. I'm going to be probably making some more glass, and then getting another layer in there, or 2 or 3 more layers, so I can actually see through the glass on the front, and then just smeltery stuff on the back. So very happy with that setup. I want to move this stuff around now. It's sort of obstructing my view of the smeltery. Anyway, the one thing that these don't seem to be able to do, unlike a faucet, is basically create new casts. So I just created a plate cast, which I want to use by default in the center, but I put an iron plate in there, pull the lever, it wouldn't fill a cast up. So for that, I've just got a manual table at the back. Otherwise, perfectly okay. And one last thing I did, I do keep meaning to mention this. These liquid hoppers have an internal tank. So you see right now it's empty, but when you're actually emptying stuff out, you can often get situations like this. If you switch it off, you might think, oh, that stopped everything. No, it's got this internal tank as well. So you can and will basically fill this up with whatever liquid you're transferring when you start the redstone signals. So just be aware, because you may have to do some finagling to get to everything, you know, output from your smeltery. But now pretty much it does everything fast enough that I can just dump in pretty much all my let's just say a couple of stacks of the iron clusters, and it's not doubling unfortunately, but it is actually processing, so we can just throw that in there and leave it alone, and off it starts going. We do actually need a better tank solution for lava, for me to go and get some more lava, but you know, in progress. I'd also like to be able to get rid of items easier than we have been so far, rather than throwing them off into the void. So I'm just wondering whether I can just use a trash void manually. So can I put you there? I can. And yes, I can. So I can just get rid of these things and off they go. And it accepts liquids and items and stuff like that. So you can turn it on to require redstone. So it's kind of a useful thing for future. But for now, yeah, nice trash can in the corner. And while it's raining, just to finish off, I got a market and we can get a few seeds, I think. We can't get cotton seeds without emeralds. That's annoying. Are emeralds even available? No. Yeah, okay. So we're not getting those, but there probably will be a couple of things. Shoggoth flesh, I don't need. Bone meal, we can exchange gold for it, but that would be a terrible exchange. Let's just see. Saplings, are there any of those that I actually want? Redwoods, obviously, 7x7 takes days to grow, but they're huge trees, so possibly. But I don't think I need any of those. However, pumpkins would be nice, so let's just get pumpkin seeds. And melon seeds as well would be nice, so have those for food. And maybe corn seeds. Oh, that needs fertilizer, but that's easy enough to make. Fertilizer is just that crushing tub, if I remember rightly. Yeah, you make some biomass from any kind of seed, throw it in the crushing tub. Throw the biomass from that in a crushing tub and just stamp up and down on it, and you get fertilizer. So if we want corn, we can get corn. And then there's industrial hemp, which costs 2 gold ingots, but then that is into more immersive engineering stuff. So yeah, all well and good. That's 2 different types of hemp. I think they're both equivalent, so we should be okay. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. Betweenlands, Tinker's Construct, all unlocked. Next episode is going to be probably, I think, we might not be able to get all the way, possibly. What's a coal engine? What do we actually need for the coal engine? I've got a feeling we need to go to Twilight Forest, and if we do, that's going to be a few episodes all by itself, or at least getting through a lot of the bosses is... Yeah, so this is a Celestial Altar, so we need to get through all through Astral Sorcery. So next episode, Astral Sorcery for definite, and Sticky Pistons. We need pistons, which needs Octane, or you can find them in Twilight Forest to be cheap, if you want to, or craft them this way, and I just need to go and mine if we want to do them that way. Yep, don't think there's anything else there for that. Fiery gear, it's fiery ingots, and I think that's Twilight Forest. Yeah, Twilight Forest. So looks like we're gonna have to go to the Twilight Forest. We have to anyway because of the Carbonite reactor, which is in the Urgas Tower. So and we can't even craft gas tiers. So there's going to be a bit of exploration going on, but ideally get that to be as cheaty as possible with climbing gloves and with kites and other stuff like that. I think it is a sky block, so we'll have to just basically kite around and get everything done. So yeah, I'm pretty much done for today. Astral Sorcery next, which means I have to go and build a giant platform somewhere. You could start it out in your base, but it's going to need to be up at like 110, 120. So I'd rather just do that anyway. And then at least we'll have a decent altar and attunement altar and all kinds of other stuff going on. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you'd like to subscribe, feel free to down below and press the like button if you have enjoyed the episode. Otherwise, let me know why not in the comments, or indeed give other people tips and tricks in the comments below as well. I've ruined that now. Yes. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. And yeah, that's all for today.